So this weapon has been requested quite a lot actually, and since I'm currently obsessed with throwing things that make a big boom, I thought, what the hell, let's do it. I'm of course talking about the Wolf Sledge. This is a very unique hammer that does primarily impact damage, but it still has an absolute ton of slash with a sprinkling of puncture on the side, with a 17% crit chance, a 1.9 times crit multiplier, and a 33% status chance. Now the reason it's unique is because it can be thrown like a glyph. It can even be detonated mid-air by doing a heavy attack, though it cannot unfortunately use glyph-specific mods like Volatile Quick Return. It's also a bit of a ball ache to get because it drops from the Wolf of Saturn 6, which is a Nightwave boss, though luckily all the parts are tradable, so you can at least buy it from someone else. So let's see what it do, shall we? I have a good feeling about this, so let's start off by slapping in Influence, because of course we're gonna use Influence, and let's also put on a stance, and it doesn't matter which one, because we're gonna be throwing it. Now yesterday, people told me that Condiovolo doesn't work on glaive explosions, which seems strange, because the weapon was doing more than enough damage, but just to be sure, yeah, we're gonna use Prime Pressure Point today. We need to run electricity for Influence, but unfortunately I don't think Voltaic Strike is gonna be enough, and I think we're gonna have to go with Shocking Touch as well. Yeah, this is gonna be a 2-to-1 ratio of Viral to Electricity, which is terrible. Like, you want a 2-to-1 ratio, but you want electricity to be dominant, not Viral. So let's run that Shocking Touch. There we go. Because this way, we actually have a favorable ratio, so we mostly proc electricity, but if we don't run it, we will mostly proc viral, which is not what you want on a setup like this. The same goes for slash setups that don't have forced procs. You don't want to overload them with vital. You know what? Yeah, I want to try a light attack setup this time around, so let's run Weeping Wounds, Elementalist, and then something. What am I missing? We have damage, Elementalist, wounds. I'm actually not sure if the throw is considered heavy attack damage or not. So let's just not run Killing Blow for now. Hold up. We could probably go crit here actually. I have an idea. So if we run Blood Rush, we drop Shocking Touch and we derank the Viral dual stat mods, we can get away with just Voltaic Strike or Shocking Touch, and then we can squeeze in Amalgam Organ Shatter. Something like this, perhaps? Let's give it a swing. Ooh, that's actually chunking them really hard. That's very impressive because this weapon has an issue where, as you can see, it builds combo incredibly slowly, and we're running Weeping Wounds and Blood Rush, so we're not getting the full power here, and it's still killing them really fast. Hammer time! Pretty much what I expected. So yeah, this totally works. Let's try it in a normal mission without Herald first, so no armor strip whatsoever. Dude, this is sick. This is doing tremendous damage. And now that we finally ranked up Influence a little bit, it's actually covering a massive area. I am liking this a lot. It kind of feels like the explosion is absolutely massive and devastating, but it's not really. It's just Influence spreading the electricity and a little bit of blast around. But it's making it feel as if the explosion was like 20 meters big. This does not feel like a dot setup at all, by the way, which it is. Like, this is an electricity setup through and through. But it does not feel like it in the slightest. Everything is just exploding. I need to not get overly excited because I still don't have the microphone dialed in, so I need to hold back. I can't be screaming, otherwise the mic's gonna be clipping all over the place. It is very difficult to do though, because this is absolutely magnificent. I actually rewatched my old Wolf Sledge video, and I was so unimpressed by this weapon when it first came out, because it was janky as hell. But this, especially, hello, the Torment by the way, this, especially with Influence, feels absolutely amazing. Come here. Time to get a hammer to the face, baby. Oh yeah. Ooh, nice damage. It's not gonna win any prizes for its single target damage, but that's to be expected. Influence setups are good for AoE, not for single target. I am very impressed. I'm having a lot of fun with this. I want to see how reliable Tenoka is gonna be here. So, what we're gonna do, Viral, we're gonna derank Virulent Scourge by... probably not all the way, maybe we can have it at rank 1. And then we're gonna run Opportunities Reach and try that out. And we're gonna test it on Grenier with no armor strip. Oh, look at that. Yeah, this is absolutely fine. That's awesome. And we have no priming, No help. We have a bit of extra attack speed from Arcane Strike, but that's about it. We don't even need Herald for this. That's amazing. Yeah, Tennokai is not particularly good here, which is why I didn't even consider it in the first place, because this weapon doesn't actually hit all that often, and even if you do trigger Tennokai, you just kind of need to explode it right away, and that's not the best thing for a throwing weapon, because, well, the weapon can be anywhere. So if you're low on Exiles adapters, you don't necessarily have to run Tennokai here. It's gonna help a little bit, but not a ton. Wow, the damage is so good. Like, I genuinely expected armor to absolutely stomp this into the ground, but no. Look at that. That was a massive explosion. Look at the numbers. Oh, so good. Give me a proc. Finally! Whoosh. Yep, that is considerably better, as is to be expected. So if you want better single target, do invest into the Exiles and run Tennokai. Time to bully the shield boys once more. Yeah, this is just silly. It's not fair. The poor shield boys. They didn't deserve... Well, they did. Never mind. You know what? Forget that I said that. They absolutely deserved it. They're a bunch of bastards. I do feel kind of bad for them, though, because they are so squishy nowadays. Well, except for treasurers, I guess. Treasurers are unreasonably tanky. Well, I think we're pretty much done. I'm happy with the setup, and... like, you could definitely get more damage out of it if you were to squeeze in a faction mode or something, but on a setup like this that just works against all the factions really well, putting in a faction mode is just unnecessary faff. I mean, the single target could be better, but again, this is an influence setup. It's not meant to do great single target, it's meant to delete entire rooms of enemies with a single throw, which is precisely what it does. So, here's the final setup for the Wolf Sledge, and it's absolutely terrific. The stance doesn't really matter because we're throwing the hammer, so you can put on whatever fits, and for our Tennokai trigger we run Opportunities Reach, though you don't necessarily need it. This weapon doesn't hit very often, so it doesn't trigger Tennokai very often, and even if you do trigger it, you have to detonate it right away before you lose it, and the hammer could be miles away, so yeah, if you don't want to invest the Exiles adapter into this, you don't have to. Now, for the actual mods, we have Primed Pressure Point for damage, Blood Rush for crit chance, Amalgam Organ Shatter for crit damage and heavy attack wind-up speed, Weeping Wounds for status chance, Melee Elementalis for status damage and heavy attack wind-up speed, and then we have Shocking Touch and D-ranked Virulent Scourge and Vicious Frost for a nice combination of vital and electricity. We D-ranked the dual stat mods on purpose here, just so we have roughly about a 2-to-1 ratio of electricity to vital. And finally, we're of course running Melee Influence for just crazy status spread. Even though I was very unimpressed when the Wolf Sledge first came out, nowadays I cannot recommend it enough. This setup is an absolute monster and it works on its own. Yes, we're getting a bit of extra attack speed from Arcane Strike, but that's about it. You don't need a priming pet, you don't need armor strip, you just throw it, it goes boom and everything dies. So definitely give it a shot, or a swing, or a throw. And as always guys, I thank you very much for watching and I hope you've enjoyed the video. Then I would also like to extend a special thank you to all the channel members. Thank you very much guys, I really appreciate your support, it means a lot to me, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.